Hey, happy Tuesday, beautiful souls, wherever you are on this phenomenal planet. It is time for Shift Your Thinking Tuesdays, where we transform our inner experience to a phenomenal outer experience for 13 minutes of our time, of our day. We do it together. Yay! Happy third week of December. Wow, we are blowing through this week. Say hi, say hello. Hello, Auntie V. Welcome back from Japan. I cannot wait to hear all about it. You and Ben look like you guys had tons of fun, and the pictures were great. I forget what the Japanese gear, the wear is called. You look beautiful, and I love the braids. Rocking it. You rocking it. You doing it. Oh my goodness, y'all. It is about that time, and I am really excited about this topic because I just did. So today's, these are like my favorites, these calendar quotes. And today's message is dream, then do. Dream, then do. Kimono, right. Hey, Bongo, peace. He says, blessings always. Yes, Bongo, your daughter is beautiful, by the way. ATL is in the building. It's the kimono. Yes, I want one. I want to do that. I was like, that's so dope. Yay. See, we cultured up in here, y'all. My family's cultured. We are on episode 75, and I'm calling this Real Imagination. Real imagination. Let's get back to that space to play. And, I went to see a healer in Texas. Shout out to Rabe, who we are launching the Spirit of Business MiniCourse together. Inspired just kind of about my journey, past life stuff that came up, really powerful. And, it's so interesting that we think we could move forward in life, but, we have karmic contracts to settle here. And so it's important that we know how that plays into our life now. And so why was I bringing that up? Healing is why I was bringing this up, because we forget that time, once upon a time, and those who had the ability to play as children and not carry so much heavy responsibilities, or even those that we did and we quote unquote grew up too fast and experienced things that was beyond us. Playing. So Rabe, set an assignment for me, and she says, get back to that space to play. And that's one of the things we will be covering in the Spirit of Business course, is creating a space to play. So we're activating that childhood. We're healing childhood traumas, right? Past life regression stuff. So really excited about that. Okay, so let me put the caption up here. Welcome. If you're new to me, say hi, say hello. Please share and let someone know, and just kind of get some transformation in their life for about 13 minutes. Yes, I'm late, but I'm on time, okay? Because my computer was doing some stuff, and it's all good. So yes. Shift your thinking. Shout out to Kair, Coach Kair. I was going to say Coach K. Coach Kair, I saw you call me. I'll give you a call back about that message. That is not, it says it's not, you're not supposed to drink that. You're not supposed to drink that drink, okay? But I guess you're supposed to mix it with something. Yes, Coach K. Coach K is also part of my healing team, by the way, okay? What you see today is not just me having this wonderful aha moment. There are people in my life, in my love circle, that have contributed to my inner work and my growth. Because, your girl been through some stuff. And like Coach K says, growth is the purpose. Growth is the purpose. So He says, hashtag healing karmic contracts. Shift that stinking thinking. Yes. Team Taurus in the building, Atlanta. I'm Team Sag. And if you know him and you do any of his shows, shout out your sign and your state. So I'm going to level up to that, Coach K. I don't know if my folks is ready. We got to get them ready. This is why shift your thinking is important. And I love the tribe because I get so many amazing phone calls from people saying, you know, that episode today, that resonated with me. That really resonated with me. I saw relationships being healed in the comments. And that's all it is, right? If we want to level up at whatever year you're claiming to be your year, because I know you do, people do this time and time again. You know, you did it in 2017. It was like 2018 is my year and I'm going to not do this, and that. But you haven't even started on your inner work. You talking about all this external stuff, right? Norman Jordan, good morning. Welcome to the show. Again, make sure you let someone know that we're on. We're doing our Shift Your Thinking. We're episode 75. Y'all are amazing. We are on here consistently every week at 8:10 Pacific time. So continuing our series from Dean Del Sesto, 200 ways to improve our lives, right? And you're absolutely right. I don't like that view. Let's do it this one. We're absolutely on track and right that we are going to do this for the next couple weeks through 2020, right? Coach says, shout out to all my team Sag. Yeah, Auntie V is a Sag, by the way. She's doing her world traveling. I would love to know what's going on in your number in your chart, Auntie V, because I saw that was amazing to do international travel and go to Japan. And I know you know some Japanese. So that for me, I was so happy to see you do that. Really happy. It meant so much during your birthday year to see you do that. Jay Jacksonville says, peace, my sis, Lisa Puerto. Thank you, Jay. Thank you. All right. Continuing our series, y'all. Let's get in this right here. I'm in the section, if you're following along. Oh, wait, I saw Love Circle. Let me bring that up. Hashtag Love Circle. Teamwork makes the dream work. Yes. Listen, dream, then do. For those of you who quote Bibles and scriptures, faith without works is what? Dead. You can't just be out here thinking up stuff, dreaming up stuff, and you're not putting any work. All right, I'm off my soapbox. Let's get in and see what the author says. I'm in the section where it says, whatever happened to our imagination? Whatever happened to our imagination? He says, look at her. Look at Auntie V is like showing off her Japanese. Now you have to type and do translate. You have to translate what that means. He says, the author says, when I was a kid, my imagination was the key. Listen to that. The key to anywhere. This is why I love to read. This is why I love to read. It's not an escape to another world. It is creating that other world. It's not an escape. Shout out to Max Sports Live on Instagram. He says it opened possibilities. Yes, I love this already. It opened possibilities and the world became whatever I wanted it to be. You hear that? Imagination. Open the world opens, because this is something very real. That's what I'm calling it, real imagination. Consciously creating your reality. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. So much fun. And he says, I turn cardboard into castles. How many of you have children around the babes and you see they do this all the time? My son makes electronic devices out of paper. Team Aries in the building. Shout out to Lathan, Team Aries. My son makes electronic devices out of paper. Thanks, Jay, for the tag. Shout out to Ebony when she jumps on. Oh, my goodness. He says bicycles into rocket ships. How many of you Back in the day, remember those crates? I don't know what the crates did. Our crates back in the day, we used to put the crates on top of the steps and we would snowboard on concrete. Woohoo! Right? How many of us did that? Imagination, get back in that space to play. Shout out to Rob Bay, creating that space to play. Coach K says our job should be to be our ancestors' wildest dreams. Hashtag imagination gurus. Yes. We came here. See, now we can't do the Spirit of Business course. We give you a snippet of that. Jay says, yes, yes. But listen up. We should be getting back into that space to play. He says, trees into skyscrapers. And my third grade teachers, he says, into, well, let's not go there. How many of you made monsters out of your teachers, right? You imagined, you were so creative and you had these wild ideas that your teachers were monsters. Isn't that something? I remember those times. I mean, I was a whole different type of student, so none of my teachers were monsters. But yes. Who does that resonate with? Ooh, yummy. I already like it. This is so good. He says, life then was as real as it was imaginary. Process that. Life then was as real as it was imaginary. Wow. He says there were no limits. There were no limits. I'm like mindful of my hair, y'all. He says, then I grew up. What was once an infinite playground grew walls, confinements, and boundaries. I play with children for a living. Real Estate 100 Youth Foundation, I'm around the babies and I get to create their concept of real estate. I get to help put that together and see how we're going to achieve that, how we're going to build that, how we're going to finance that, how we're going to invest in that. It is so much fun. And I do that in my childhood character as myself, as super agent. This is me playing. I get to imagine I get to imagine this world where we get to play in real estate. And just as imaginary it is, it will become real for them. Jay says, Miss Green was my monster, meanest teacher, but I learned the most from her in 5th grade of all my teachers. See, somebody's out here turning their teachers into monsters. I love it. That is so classic, right? I knew that resonated with somebody. He says, somewhere during the journey of life, listen to this, somewhere during the journey of life, our imagination gets packed into a suitcase and thrown off the train only to be replaced by cautious optimism. Ooh, listen to that word, that parallel, the oxymoron, the contradiction, the cautious optimism. That's not quite optimism if we're paralleling it or pairing it with cautious. Innovation trepidation. Ooh, play on words. Innovation trepidation. Wow. And imagination constipation. Oh my God. I told you this author is sick. This author is a rapping author. Imagination constipation. Who is guilty? Who is guilty of the imagination constipation? Had I known, I would have called it that today. That would have got your attention. Wow. Cautious optimism, innovation, trepidation, and imagination constipation. My son creates all the time, imagine all the time. We had a stack of chairs in the office and he builds an apparatus and he is constructing things out of a stack of chairs that is here. It's a beautiful thing to watch. And it's a beautiful thing to be reminded of. Let us be reminded of. Like Coach K says, our ancestors are depending on us to be their wildest dreams. Wow. He says, it is as though we were confronted with life's reality so harshly that what was once freedom into unlimited possibilities became a liability. Notice that. You see, now, I mean, my mind is going so many places with this, because I'm sure we know of people walking through life, or if this is shift your thinking. And if this resonates with you, and if you are that person walking through life with the cautious optimism, with the imagination constipation, you can't quite get yourself to imagine. You can't quite get yourself to play because you're feeling overwhelmed, inundated with the quote unquote harsh realities of life. Here's what fascinates me right now with this generation right now. There's a shift really, where you see there is millions, if not billions of dollars being pumped into the consumer products to bring back superheroes for the generation of the 80s. Why? That generation, although it was a time rampant with drugs, but it was also a time of so much creativity, so much play. We see the shift happening where Disney has broken off from Netflix, and they're going to create their own streaming platform to monetize this next generation, which is the largest generation in the history of population. Why? Because we were into superheroes then. Name some of your favorite cartoons from back then, right? The original G.I. Joes, the X-Men. This is strategy. This is strategy that Disney has strategically bought off Marvel, and they've got the whole series that they're going to be launching. This imagination. Why? Because we grew up at a time where we felt like we were not normal. We were just something unique about us, but we quite didn't fit, and we had all these powers. I always resonated with Storm. I felt like I could control the weather, and I could tell you one day that I actually did that with a group meditation exercise. And you can't tell me that I didn't part the clouds and did all that. You can't tell me. I was there. We documented it. There's video footage. I was there with maybe 12 to 13 other people with conscious meditation that we were able to do that, control the weather. Shout out to our clairvoyant entrepreneurs and those of you who are rocking the tees. I'm not wearing mine today, but shout out to those clairvoyant entrepreneurs. You have just been summoned. Know this, you have just been summoned. All right, I'll continue. He says, it is as though we were conformed with life's realities, correct? We didn't realize that we could reframe, listen to this, reframe our imagination or upgrade the software to Imagination 2.0 and learn new tools, features, and nuances to apply to our current age and new stage of life. I do this all the time. I know my branding team gets on my case about it, actually, because they're like, you need to stick with something, right? Stick with something, Lisa. What's the logo going to be? What's this? But I'm constantly creating. I'm constantly innovating new versions of myself. Like I said, you're right now on the Shift Your Thinking Tuesday platform on my Ready, Set, Real Estate Wednesday show. This is a bonus episode on that. And I get to spin off and talk about the clairvoyant entrepreneurs. Connect with me now. We talked about waking up along the journey, right? We talked about you'd be mad if you had to be at work at 2:00 and somebody tried to wake you up at 6:00. You'd be pretty pissed off if you had to get up at 6:00 in the morning, but not have to be at work till 2 p.m. It's not time for you to wake up. different seasons and reasons and vibrations. The result is that we now get caught up in the daily whirlwind, and a moment to take a deep breath for some imagination time gets suffocated by the next urgent thing. Two different things between meditation and imagination. Maybe Coach K can chime in on that. For me, yes, I'm always imagining. I was warned about doing it sometime in the daytime, but I do it during the daytime, not but, and. And you'll notice if you're new to the show, I'm very mindful of the words that I'm speaking and activating, right? Because this is my craft. This is how I'm casting. This is how I'm projecting. So, and I do imagine during the daytime. Yeah, so much fun. He says, even as I write this, the author says, even as I write this, I feel a pull to give myself permission to imagine more. Listen to that. Shout out to Jay, Troy. Thank you for sharing the video. Really appreciate you. Love you. Thanks for chiming in. Eric Burton, shout out. Your clairvoyant entrepreneur tea is in the mail today, on its way. Oh my goodness. Give yourself permission to imagine more. Wow. It's fascinating that we even have to do ourselves. We have to do that. I'm in a state right now, my personal year and personal growth, where I'm setting boundaries and I'm allowing myself to receive. I'm allowing myself to receive. Yeah. He says to slow down, give yourself permission to imagine more, to slow down and combat daily urgency so I can think freely without reservation. Coach K says quality meditation leads to quality visualization. Put your socks on before your shoes. Quality imagination. Yes. Thank you. I asked Coach K to chime in on that in terms of meditation, imagination. Yes. Let that resonate. And there's tons of practices in terms of what works for you. But I would imagine the thing you have control over in your life, as opposed to projected external experiences, is your mind. Heart mind. Heart mind is what you are responsible for, what you can control, not the external responses of everyone else. We talked about the 90-10, right? Yeah, Coach K says meditation is the slowing down. Yes, absolutely. Give yourself permission to imagine, to slow down and combat the daily urgencies. And guess what? There is no real urgency. There was a study done that said those who, especially when I talk about being late or on time, and yes, I am a respecter of people's time. There was a study that said those who tend to be late are the most at peace and least stressed individuals. Why? Because they're operating on their time. There is no real urgency. If you really get deep into this activation of the imagination, you will learn how to slow down time. Bungo says powerful. Yes. Absolutely. When you really delve into this, you will see that not only can you rewire past experiences, trauma included, but you can slow down time. Oh, time is but an illusion. He says, something tells me, the author says, that it would be a blast and would reveal innovation beyond my expectations and abundant possibilities for growth, all within the confines of my controlled adult life. He says, at least that's what I imagine. As we talk about the real imagination and getting back to that space to play, there is an article and there has been a study done that has said our economy is being threatened right now by the lack of entrepreneurship. This is why so much more the Spirit of Business course is so important, because you came here with a gift. You came here with some type of innovation. That's why I was talking to the clairvoyant entrepreneur, the tempered creator, the mad doctor inventor. I'm speaking to you. You came here with a gift and a purpose, your ancestors' wildest dreams to propel our global earth, planet Earth, to propel us forward. It said the state of our country is being threatened because of the lack of pursuit of entrepreneurship by the next generation. And guess what? We're so educated. You're so degreed. You got all these degrees. But you're stifling. You are suffocating what you came here to do. Coach says, whenever you get too urgent, you are mismanaging your most valuable commodity, your energy. Dig that. Dig that. Really appreciate Coach K for building on with us today. Definitely get connected with him. He's got a great course. He's got courses all throughout the year happening. So if you need to do some inner work, as we're starting to talk about activating your gifts and moving forward, start building your team. All right, y'all, that's 13 minutes. We're getting ready to wrap it up. My CTA for you. Of course, thank you for sharing. Make sure you subscribe to the radio podcast everywhere. Shout out to our replay listeners on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Breaker, Stitcher. Oh, we're everywhere. Thank you so much for continuing to build with us. Give yourself permission this week to imagine. You deserve it, Lisa. I speak with you, but I'm really, when I go back and watch the replay, I know I'm talking to myself. Give yourself permission to imagine. Yes. Yes. Coach K says free gold writing course at coachkclass.com. Jay says, and positive message. Thank you for your time. Absolutely, y'all. I love you, love you, love you. Have a powerful and productive week. We'll see you next week for episode 76 on Shift Your Thinking. All right, you guys. Love you.